Okay, and
Alrighty, we're testing the stream, see if it's helping.
we are back online after quite a rude move by the custom game hosters, starting the game without us being ready. I guess they don't want people to see the game. Tisk tisk, people. No Mr. An Opportunity. I can safely say that this is just fantasy. And we are seeing an immediate Rumble ban, as I predicted, followed by the Thresh ban. Jason Elise still banned on Purple Team. They're pretty comfortable with the champions they played against last game.
And you have to consider that, once again, Elise has definitely a lot of lockdown. Jace has it. He has the huge amount of damage for being even in top lane. Amumu being banned again, Thresh being banned again, and Rumble, they do not want to face Rumble once again.
I'm not certain about it, but they may be making these two top lane bans to try to ban out the blue team's top lane. That may be why he performed somewhat poorly as a Jarvan in the fourth.
It is a possibility. I've never honestly played against him top lane. I don't know about that. So hopefully the stream's a little bit better.
We are seeing Taboo Noise pulling at the first pick, Cho'Gath Jungle. We all learned in LCS that Cho'Gath Jungle is very, very strong at this moment, and could make a lot of plays happen.
Don't be wasted, kids. It's not good. Don't do it. It's bad for your livers.
No.
Biosloth picking up Sona
He's saying
again.
that Amumu is a bad ban. It was a wasted ban. He's not saying that he is wasted.
Sorry,
it's all in the context.
No, I read
Right.
who won, I just got on, and then I read wasted, and I thought it was the same person. My apologies. Anyhow, which team is that now, blue or purple? Mythic Dawn is now purple, Team 15 is now blue. And MSF72 makes a very good point. Like we were saying, the Equalizer and the Slow may clean up for Diana and the Rumble AoE.
And so far from Purple Team, we are seeing the same exact picks out. They're very comfortable with the composition they were running. We'll see if they change any of those picks up, but so far they're looking pretty happy.
Indeed. I think they're honestly, except for their top, they're going to try and stay exactly as they were, just because how much synergy that team honestly had. They're just going to have to try and find somebody who has slightly more, who has as close to synergy as they can get. Seeing a Zac on blue team,
Looking like
possibly Lane Zac. Lane Zac I have seen to be quite destructive.
and quickly moving away from the Zac back to actual AP mid champions, possibly an AD mid, but we'll see what Xander wants to pick.
Thank you, Xander. Trolling.
He's probably just shuffling picks to mess with us. I don't know if we're going to be seeing a Zac mid, so we'll see who he does pick in the end.
I'll have to agree with her chat because I'm honestly surprised that there was not a ban on either Sona or Sejuani, just because of how much those ults worked together and how well they honestly did. Seeing a last-minute fizz pick by Xander.
And I do know that Xander is somewhat known for his for the way that he plays his Fizz. Fizz is apparently one of his main champions, and we will see. But knowing that last game there was a Diana, it may not be the best choice. Fizz's lane is fairly difficult against Diana.
Seeing Vayne pick again.
And a Diana pick again.
And Diana, and the Sejuani, and the Sona. There, as you said, they are incredibly.
Yeah, Purple Team is not really looking... they're not really making this game exciting for us. They're just enjoying picking the same champions they were last time. But it will be interesting to see who they choose as their top now that Rumble is banned out. However, he will be picking after Blue Team picks their top, so he does have a very strong chance to be making that a lane counter.
Indeed he does. Especially with how hard that lane was going last time. It could be a Diana top, but I don't believe we're going to see that. I honestly think we will see Diana in the mid again. We will see almost everybody in the same position they rolled the last time.
That is interesting. I did not notice that the Diana pick was made by Ticket, so he could be trying to take Diana top, but at the same time he could just be holding Diana now to swap with the Neo Cypher.
It's very possible. Currently we're waiting on the next two picks.
We're not seeing anything for the support in top lane yet. They may be just waiting to the last second to make their picks.
Here comes Lux, and here comes the Yorick.
That is an interesting choice. We are seeing a Lux support coming down against the Vayne Sona lane.
And I think that's an excellent support for that shield and the snare and the vision that does damage. I think that's an excellent choice for them. I think that is possibly could turn against them.
Also interesting to note
turn it against
that
Mythic
Coolcat did switch away from the Ezreal pick and is now going to try Ashe as an attempt to play against the Vayne. Could be an interesting choice because Ashe will have the ultimate that he could use to maybe try to counter the other teams, how they were engaging with ultimates and finishing with the slows that the ultimates had. It could be a way to slow the entire enemy team to try to keep them a little bit safer.
Neocypher picking up Ziggs, and I think we will actually be seeing a Diana top.
Yep, so we are seeing...
I have seen Neocypher play Ziggs many a time in mid, and that could be quite dangerous for Fizz.
Yeah, Neocypher, there is an interesting matchup between the Fizz and Ziggs in the mid lane, and depending upon the skill, if the Fizz is able to dodge the skill shots, he can quite easily come down and bring damage down onto the Ziggs and kill him. It's all just a matter of who gets started first.
Indeed it is. Yeah. Though, as we were talking about earlier, I think that Purple Team might have the advantage again, not even just because of how they're playing, but because of how much pressure they'll have with those teleports, and with the Ziggs ultimate, that huge range on the Ziggs ultimate, just trying to pick up kills for Neocypher right in the mid.
They do no longer have the Rumble ultimate giving out that massive damage and slow, but they do still have the Sejuani and Sona ultimates ready to go to, make the team initiate. They've got poke from Ziggs, and they've got the follow-up from Diana and Vayne. They've got a really, they have a very piecemealed team on Purple that kind of has a little bit of everything that you see in teams.
But I think it could really work out well for them. Like we said, we have the massive stun from Sona. We have the slow/stun from Sejuani, and that can all be picked up by a Mega Inferno Bomb right from Ziggs, clearing out possibly an entire team or at least messing them up really bad. And I think it is an interesting thing to look at. Often, most people, though, for what happened last time top lane, most people will give the advantage to Yorick versus Diana. And if it's anything like we saw the last game that we broadcasted, Yorick just spammed those ghouls at a near constant, just forcing the opponent under tower, making it incredibly hard to farm. And that could punish Diana for even attempting to go top lane against him.
Yeah, that is how Yorick tends to work, and I do not know if Diana will be able to get down onto Yorick, so she may be, with the ghoul spam, she may be losing out on farm up in top lane. And also, Diana is known for being a strong roamer, and the Diana is not the one with the teleport this time. It is Ziggs being the one with the teleport, and with nearly no CC, unless you count the explosive minefield, it will give him a little bit less strength in teleport ganks than if it were the Diana to have taken the teleport.
Indeed. Also, even if Diana doesn't like to roam, if Yorick is keeping her locked in her tower with all the ghouls, that could be incredibly bad for her. Can't go and help other people, locked in her tower, having a hard time to farm.
Well, that is what I was trying to get at, because Diana is known to be a champion to roam, but if she's not in mid, it makes it a lot harder for her to have presence in all the lanes, especially bot lane. It's something that's observed very well. I'm a TF player myself, and when a Twisted Fate is forced to lane swap up into the top lane, it makes it much, much harder for him to have that same presence that he normally does, because he's just not close to bot lane, so his ultimate's not going to be in range to hit it.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Well, I think the other problem that we might see is even if Ticket can close that gap head right on in there. Oop, that's fine. The game's about to start. We're swapping over a little early. It'll be just fun. Anyhow, I think the other problem that could be if Tiki goes in there and Tick is really committed. If Ambio just punishes him, if he can get the ult off in the right time, that could be a dead Diana, even though she takes Yorick with her.
It will be interesting to see what the Yorick ultimate brings to the team, and see if Yorick can out farm and just get a little bit of advantage out on Diana. It could help the team out quite a bit.
Indeed it could. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be right back. I need to get some water. Luke, would you like some water or something to drink?
Sure, water or pop, that's fine.
Actually, I'm just going to stay here and get these delicious unnamed sodas.
Bene. We should get some like electrical tape and tape over the logos.
I was actually going to do that, and then I realized I had no duct tape. So I was like, damn. These delicious sodas that are in some sort of colored can. Soda.
Their identity shall remain a mystery. It will taunt you to the end of time.
Indeed it will.
Uh-oh. We are seeing an interesting point here. Wait. Yeah, we are seeing now a swap from the last game. There are 2 skins now on purple team and only 1 on blue team, giving purple team the clear skin advantage.
Purple team had the skin advantage last time too. They had the frosted.
Where purple team was the other team.
No, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So
and Ryu makes a good point. If Lux can keep Vayne zoned, that could go incredibly far to helping.
All right, and now the game is up and ready to go.
Hopefully, this will now be a little bit smoother, a little bit better looking.
Yep, we do see
not better looking, but smoother.
Yeah, we do see both junglers immediately starting with their machete and pots. Purple team getting out of base a little bit faster than blue team. We'll see if there's another invade that does come down here.
They tried it last time. It failed last time, but they might try it again. But I highly suspect since there is no Tark this time, there won't be an invade.
Yeah, we are not seeing a lot of, or possibly any level 1 CC on either team. So it would be a risky call for either team to try to make an invade. We can see purple team is taking a defensive stance, not really looking to go for an invasion. Blue team looks like they're taking a defensive stand around their blue buff as well.
30 seconds until minions.
So neither team is going for the invade. Ashe and Lux are sitting down by tower. There's a question as to whether or not they will try to start golems or if they're just going to... And now we see Ashe moving towards golems. So they will be starting golems as is regular. Actually, I'm not sure what Lux and Ashe are doing right now. They're moving... Oh, they're checking for the invade is what they're doing.
Minions have spawned.
Alright, minions have now spawned. We do see Ashe and Lux lingering around near the Wraith camp, making sure that no one's trying to come in on them. And here they are heading to the golems, I believe, starting a little bit later than normal. And we are seeing the classic wolf start from both Sejuani and Cho'Gath. I'm going to assume we're seeing another smiteless on both blues.
To currently answer people who are saying that the other stream is going on with the other games, sadly it's not. We couldn't find someone else to stream. No one else wanted to take it upon them. We actually today we just got U of Cincy LOL 2 set up, and hopefully we're going to be able to stream multiple games at a time.
I'm just interested in Mr. An Opportunity saying that he saw something on Facebook. Maybe
I do believe somebody asked if they wanted a streamer and they never got a reply. Oh, and there goes the early push on red buff from Lumen, just like he tried before. But this time...
And we do see Fizz and Lux closing in on Sejuani, maybe trying to punish her for what she's done there.
Letting comes Neo Cypher trying to help.
Fizz is only level 1, he doesn't really have a whole lot that he can do. We see Cho'Gath going in with no health remaining.
And he walked right through that minefield.
He does flash out.
On him.
They may have chased Sejuani and Ziggs away, but they really didn't. I guess Sejuani did get taken down pretty low. Cho looks like he's going to be struggling on this red buff. Hopefully he can take it without getting executed there. I do believe his smite should be up.
Oh, apparently the other game will be streaming in just a little bit. I think.
Oh, okay, so we do have Frozen. Frozen, who is a Diamond player who has experience streaming, must have taken it upon himself to get the other game streamed. So I suppose he will be streaming it, but I don't suppose that he will be using the... No, he is.
Nope, he will. He's using the Cincinnati Law 2. Thank you, Ryan. Here, give me just a moment and I will post the link for that directly to you.
Alright, link's going to be going down in chat in just a second.
Because we might be boring, because we're not necessarily good at this.
We're not boring, we're fantastic. We're
There you go.
fabulous.
There's the link to the other channel. As we've said before, this is my second time streaming. I've been at work for 8 hours a day and I'm sleepy. And York being punished by Diana. So far, what we assumed is not coming to fruition.
Yeah, although we do see a bunch of damage coming out from York right there, where Diana did try to... She just tried to stay too close to him, and he did get some damage back out on her.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. For the opportunity.
Now we are seeing some good damage coming out from Fizz onto Ziggs. Fizz did use his Ignite there. Fizz doesn't have an Ignite, he has a Teleport, so...
He's the Urchin Hammer, I believe it's called. Or Urchin Strike. Cho'Gath coming up, trying to get that gank on Diana, and she is not going to be able to...
Here comes the red buff.
But there goes...
She got the flash out there.
And York
Ignite's
flashes
going
right
out.
after.
York's coming after. He's got the tick, and
first
there's
blood
first
goes
blood.
to York.
Meanwhile, in mid lane, Fizz did manage to push Ziggs out by dropping that Ignite on him on top of the Urchin Strike.
This is true.
We're seeing...
Yeah, their stream should come on in not too long.
Getting a lot of poke down onto the enemy Sona there. She's almost out of mana from having to spam heal. We do see Lumen coming up top to cover after the gank, but he's being driven out.
Sona and Vayne stuck under tower. Sejuani coming in trying to put some damage on him since he has no mana, but the ghouls coming in trying to harass.
And we do see a little bit of a shift in bot lane. We see Team 15 now actually having control, keeping the Mythic Dawn under the tower rather than... It was exactly the opposite last game. Fizz is still in mid with fairly low health against Ziggs. And all that Fizz has is a blue pot currently. He has not gone back after driving Ziggs out of lane there.
One thing we have to keep focused on is currently Ziggs is creeps down. Not much, but still creeps down.
You mean Fizz is creeps down?
I mean Fizz, yes, thank you.
There doesn't look to be much of a difference in farm at current, although Yorick is losing out to Diana in top lane, contrary to the assumption.
There comes the ult,
and there
and
comes
the
the
Cho'Gath Rupture.
Cho's coming in with the Rupture.
And down goes Neo.
So now we're seeing a 2-kill lead from Blue Team, quite the opposite from what we saw last game. They may have gotten their picks in a row, and Purple Team may have made the mistake this time of choosing the same champions. Although we are seeing a lot of damage going down onto Ashe in bot lane, taking him very low. He may not want to stay out there that far. We do see Q goes out from Sona, but it doesn't do anything through the Lux Shield. I do think Coolcat should try to be pretty careful down in that bot lane right now. He's
Lumen just taking a world of pain, trying to go heal up off the wolves.
Well, what I've been seeing from Lumen this game is that he keeps coming to the lanes after it's a little too late. After he comes right after the death, right after the gank, and then he's got to hold the lane and just eat some harass. So he's trying to save some lane experience and creeps for his team, but at the same time he's suffering for it.
He is. Thank you everybody for saying hi and hey and waving emotes. It's very entertaining to us here.
We love you too.
I think they might have been saying hi to each other. I don't know. They might not love us that much.
They probably
don't love us that much.
They were probably saying hi to each other. They don't really care about us. They're just listening to the soothing sounds of our deep voices.
The incredibly soothing sound of radio casting. I could cast entirely like this, just a little bit more. Oh, I thank you. Once again, all the support you guys can give us is always good, because once again, this is my second time casting. Luke, this is your first time casting?
This would be my first time officially casting.
And, you know, I think we're doing alright. We're probably not going to be as good as the other stream, but hey, we'll get better. We'll get better.
And now we are seeing the damage coming down from Yorick, although we're looking, there might be a gank up on top of
Yorick. Coming in
Yorick.
for the gank, getting pulled back.
He is ignited, he's been Diana ulted, he drops his ghost, there goes the Sejuani ult, and here comes Yorick, still trying to put out damage onto Diana. She's completely out of mana. Unless Sejuani can stop him, he may be able to pick up this kill on her by spamming those ghouls. She's getting very low,
and it's a little too late. He just ran out of time on the ghost.
Yep, the Sejuani CC was just a little bit too much for him, and Diana did get out scot-free. Yeah, that was a very effective gank coming out of the Sejuani there. Good use of the ult just after hitting level 6.
Anyone who's interested, Team 2 versus Team 3 has just gone live. Zig's coming down, trying to get the gank, and
we're seeing a lot of damage. Oh, the C4 down onto Lux, and another ultimate, and there goes Lux, leaving an Ashe down in bot lane with half health and no mana, giving him no choice but to go B. But here we see Fizz coming in right on top of Ziggs after the gank. He gets a bunch of damage down with the Ignite, pulls it off.
And
very good counter gank.
Knocked him out of the
and
ultimate.
Here, Cho'Gath's here, but with the shallow rupture,
just barely missing it.
If he were able to get, he has red buff, he can get the slow down onto Vayne and maybe able to slow her down, but not quite enough. We see an Ashe ult being lobbed down, but I think it's going to go just under the tower and miss.
Oh, so close.
And yet so far, no ult connect means no kill. Sadly, they're not really getting a lot of punishment down on the bot lane, but they did get Ziggs for coming there. Currently we see Diana mid, she shoved the lane after Fizz left.
I don't know if that's honestly going to help her that much, especially with that blue vision there. Yorick could come down, try and lay some ghouls on her because she is cut off from her tower.
But what we were saying earlier about the Yorick harassing the Yorick damage, it is going to come to fruition now because he does have his tier built, so now he's going to have a lot less mana trouble. We do see a botched gank coming from Sejuani. Never mind, she charges in for the slow, maybe dropping... Does he have ultimate? No, he doesn't. So Sejuani just came in to drop a little bit of harass down on bot lane, but Purple Team's bot lane is at pretty low health, and I do believe Lux has ult up.
Once again, as I said earlier, the secondary channel is up and running if somebody wants to see 2 versus 3. We will be here until the end of this game, and if you want to hang out with us, you are more than welcome. Cho'Gath up top, looking to make something happen. Yorick coming in with the slowing ghoul, and the other ghoul, with the silence and the rupture.
The rupture does connect. We might be seeing Cho'Gath ult for the kill here.
Cho'Gath hanging out.
Oh, Sho's getting tower dive, getting CC. He's not going to have enough health to make it out of there.
And that was a good play by Diana. She knew she wasn't making it out of there. It was better to try and take that show down because she was not going to escape with both of them chasing after her.
We did see Fizz trying to make movements up towards top lane, but he just wasn't fast enough to have any sort of move. Cho made the mistake of holding turret aggro for too long when Yorick had full health. Cho could have just gone and left, and Diana would have been done.
Agent Smith, what are you talking about the third, if necessary?
Is there a third game going?
Tonight? I didn't think there was.
Oh, no. You said we're going to be streaming till the end of this game. Oh, you meant we're going to be streaming till the end of the set.
End of the set. I apologize. I often say game. I mean set. I apologize.
Zed Draconian does have a good point as well. Getting the kill on Cho'Gath is denying him more of his stacks, so his health is going to be lower and he's going to be weaker for it.
That is true. That is very true, but at the same... Oh, and there goes the snare, but not close enough for that volley.
We are seeing right now that Ziggs has a blue buff, and I believe Cho took the second blue buff for blue team, so Ziggs is getting a lot of free harass down on Fizz, because Fizz
Cho'Gath is trying to get him in. Here comes the Fizz ultimate. I hit him with the...
Ooh. Cho was able to take the turret aggro for that, making it an easy dive for Fizz, but we are seeing Sejuani coming in, and she should have her ultimate loaded up. She wastes the ultimate on the Cho'Gath there, trying to follow him up, but he's going to be able to die for it.
He's going to silence
got a lot of health.
Lumen is trying to bail out. I don't know if that was a good call. Lumen might have wanted to go in for that one, especially with the rupture just being used.
At the same time, Cho did have a decent amount of health, and Fizz was still around. If Lumen would have dove too far, the missing health base damage on Fizz may have easily taken it down, feeding a character that you do not want to feed.
That is very true.
That kill there giving slight gold advantage to blue team. And we see York coming down on top of Lumen there with the ghouls. I don't believe he knows that Diana is directly there though. Now he does. So you get a lot of free damage down onto Lumen with no real repercussions. Although they are in the jungle, they're trying to steal the buff, which looks like a really...
Oh, there goes the Sona ult. This could be quite bad. Oh, there.
Countered by the Ashe ult. We'll see if Ashe can make it out.
One snare on the most damage, hitting the volley for the slow, and they are going to make it out of there.
That was a beautiful counter engage there by Ashe. We're seeing Diana getting caught out for trying to steal this blue buff, but is she going to be taken down?
Neo Cypher coming in with the Hex Tech minefield.
Cho'Gath coming from behind.
Hitting the rupture.
There's a clutch rupture there. Silence, so Diana cannot get out and followed up for the kill. Meanwhile, Ziggs is going to be taken down as well, with just great plays from blue team.
Oh, switch back to items, not gold. Sorry, guys. There you go. There are the items. Not entirely sure about
Interesting build on Ashe there. We are seeing a huge...
The full Doran's build.
We're seeing no boots out of Cool Cat with 3 Dorans and a Vamp Scepter. Very interesting, but it does seem to have been keeping him alive.
And that is a good point. That's not a terrible... That's not necessarily a terrible build at this moment, especially with a support who can't heal. Especially if Cool Cats can keep getting that help. As long as he can stay in lane, the better off he is.
I think he did do it partially for what we did see earlier, where he had to counter, he had to drop out of that engagement that was just laid down on top of him, and he had not very much health remaining, so the Dorans may have saved him there, it gives him the HP stat and the lifesteal. And after that, now he's able to purchase his BF sword, so he's going to be doing some pretty decent damage as he is back down into lane, but he does not have boots yet, so his attack speed is going to be much lower than Vayne's, and so will his mobility. So we will see how that pays off for him.
And Zedriconi makes a good point. It will hurt the late game just because of the amount of gold spent at this venture. But at the same time, if they can start dishing down some damage, if Lux can get that snare, that could be a lot of kills on Vayne.
It did. It'll be it's interesting to think about the difference where it is going to hurt his late game, but it may have saved his early game a little bit. It may have saved him earlier from those ganks that were going down onto him. We're seeing some engage on the Cho, but
and the slows and the ultimate
is an ult from Sejuani, but it may have been, yeah, it was not the best idea. Fizz ult's going down on the Sedge. He's probably going to catch her out, but
Sejuani is probably going to go down to that.
Sejuani goes right from the poison.
Here comes the Mega Inferno Bomb.
Tons and tons of damage going down on the Fizz.
Really? Really?
I did not mean to do that on purpose, but there was just massive damage going down onto Fizz. York's following up. There's a silence on. Ooh. And that was the Cho ultimate finishing her off. Oh my goodness. That Ashe arrow would have been amazing.
They are chasing. There goes the laser. Count Tabasco taking down Biosloth.
We do see a support kill there. Meanwhile, that engage where Fizz just died back there a little bit. And Count Tabasco goes in a little too deep against Vayne and gets just decimated by a batch of silver bolts there. I don't know exactly what he was going for. Maybe he was trying to force him out of lane, but just gave Vayne a free kill. However, over near the mid lane where that encounter did happen, that was a 2-for-3 exchange, and York did go back up top and
taking that tower.
Did take the tower.
To answer your question, it's the Spirit Stone. Dwani coming in and get that blue buff for Ziggs. Ziggs has got to make up some ground. While he is definitely ahead
now
in CS, he's not ahead in those kills.
This is very interesting. Looking at Ziggs' item build, he decided before finishing boots, before building anything else, just immediately rushing a Lich Bane. I'm not certain if that was the best choice on his call. It will stack on his passive with the bomb, but I don't know if that's going to influence his team fights as much as another item may have.
Personally, I think it's going to hurt him in the grand scheme of things. I think he could have gone for I do believe he could have gone for a large rod and possibly put him much more damage ahead.
it would have helped his damage a lot more in the mid lane, I think. I don't think that Ziggs is or Fizz is a champion that you want to be trying to auto attack against. With the short range that Fizz has, you would imagine that you would want to try to keep your range and use your more larger range spells to try to put some damage down on him. Now we do see Cho'Gath showing his face in bot. It looks like they're going to try to attack the tower, but at the same time they're attracting the jungle and the mid with very little sight, actually no sight. Looks like they're going to get engaged under this tower. We see ults coming down, 3 ults coming down, AoEs, knocking them down, low health, they were all stunned. Fizzle going out in a complete whiff. There goes Ashe, there goes Lux, and here goes Cho. Oh, no, Cho does survive with the...
Just barely. Sona trying to come in after him, trying to pick that up, clean it up. She's gone the wrong way, and she's going to fall back.
That was a nasty...
Oh, but there's Diana connecting with Q, getting the
following
ult.
up. Meanwhile, in top lane, Yorick is pushing. He may be able to put damage down on a tower, but that was a really devastating engage on blue team. They paid the price once again for not having enough wards up. And there's Ziggs teleporting up to top to try to stop the Yorick push.
He's too tanky to even be slowed down by that damage.
Yeah, Yorick may just be staying top until he sees some other motion to try to push him out. We do see Fizz trading a little bit of damage down onto Vayne and bot lane, trying to keep them off that tower. Meanwhile, in mid lane, though, Diana is pushing. We may be seeing a tower down soon, and there it is. There's the first tower of the match, bringing the second tower.
First tower for blue team.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot about Yorick taking top lane because I'm a ditz. However, second tower of the game, first tower for purple, and that tower just gave them gold advantage from a very close game and a game that was just in blue team's advantage before that bot lane engage.
You gotta also still consider Cho'Gath is fighting an invisible blue.
Here we see Cho'Gath decimating an invisible blue buff, and I do not know exactly what's going on there. We do see Sejuani moving in towards him, but don't know if that would be the best move. They may be trying to steal it.
Fizz is coming in right behind him, trying to punish him.
We also see damage coming down in bot lane. Looks a lot of damage coming down.
Oh,
the Ashe
ult, and down goes Vayne. 2 cool cats.
Cool Cat does get the kill on Vayne, and there's no one around to stop him. Sona flashes out. She has no mana. She's probably going to leave, and it looks like blue team is going to get that bot tower. Sejuani was successful in stealing that blue buff. You can see her wearing it.
I have never seen that bar get ever before in real play, Mr. Inopportunity. Never before.
Purple team's turret.
Also, as it currently sits, you guys are my favorite. We have almost double the amount of viewers from the other channel, meaning we're the best. Oh, and Yorick getting caught out of position. This could be
boy, Yorick
it for Yorick.
Hugely out of position there.
Cho'Gath and Fizz getting caught by the Sejuani ult.
We do
in
see
comes Diana.
a teleport in from Vayne. Vayne is trying to get in to try to get some damage down on these guys, try to get things rolling, but that looks like overall a wasted teleport from Vayne. Not much coming out of it. The tower's already gone, and it looks like they should be able to hold this lane back against it. This game is much, much closer than the last game and could go in anyone's favor at any point.
Toro's giving a shout out to Tapping Noise from Koenig.
Oh, that would be Newing. Or Newing.
Newing. I took German. I know how to say things. Why? What am I doing? Ladies and gentlemen, I quit. It's only going to be Luke from now on. Luke, sir.
Alright.
You can have all of my things.
And we do see there are...
Blue team trying to force a fight under purple power.
There's a definite lack of bodies. We see a Ziggs ult coming in, but nobody really cares.
See, and you have to look at that. That Ziggs ult did minuscule damage to Ashe.
But it did clear the creeps out.
It did clear
forcing them off the tower.
It did clear the creeps, but it did very, very minuscule damage. And I think it really has to do with that Lich Bane. I think he would have been better off trying to get a little more AP early on.
We do see Vayne up in top. She did take that tower, but because of just the lack of bodies in mid, I think that blue team may be about to take this tower unless they just get poked off of it too much. And it looks like that's exactly what happened. They weren't able to take it because of the creep clear from the... But we do see a clutch Sejuani ult coming in there.
Followed up by that Sona ult. The problem is they're just destroying Sigurd.
Diana just gets blown up immediately, and...
Sejuani taking a huge amount of damage, but the other problem is they have been poked incredibly hard. and blue team is gonna have to fall back on that one. But even falling back, they do take the advantage in that
We
fight.
may be seeing Ashe life-stealing and then trying to save the tower just by clearing the creeps out. That was an 0 for 1 exchange so far, unless something else happens here.
Purple team trying to make something happen, trying to push that tower down.
I don't know if
Zig
Purple
with the
team
warm
currently
poke.
has the damage to really make anything happen too dramatic under this tower right now. And we are seeing a full health Cho'Gath come back. He's going to buy time for his other teammates to go back, and the pressure has fallen off of mid lane. We do see
Purple with the dragon tower trying to get out.
There are pink wards now going down on Dragon. Dragon has just spawned, but the blue team will know that just happened, and if Cho'Gath is able to get sight in there, he could try to go in and smite ult steal.
Lumen though picking up Cho'Gath's red buff, with the laser going off just a little bit too late. Neo trying to get rid of all vision in that pit. And now coming in to get that blue buff set up for Ziggs.
So we do see Purple, even after losing that last fight, still at a 2k gold roughly advantage. Although interesting to say, we did not see a Yorick ult go down at all during that fight. I guess it was because no one was really at danger of dying, but I think that Yorick ult, you know, they won a team fight even without the Yorick ult. They may be able to win the team fight even more with a Yorick ult. I do think that with the AoE ults that they have on the purple team, they do have strong team initiating, but if they're able to focus that Diana down, or if they're able to focus Vayne down instead, I don't know if purple team's going to have enough damage anymore to finish off after all of that engage, unless Zig starts to build a bit more damage. And we do see the needlessly large rod coming off on him, so maybe we will be seeing a little bit more damage. See a Sejuani ult there, not really stunning anyone. Counter engage.
Getting caught in the snare.
Counter engage is coming down. Vayne's at about half health. Here comes the Ashe ult, followed by the Fizz ult. Fizz coming down on the Vayne, dealing a lot of damage onto her, but he gets taken out. But we do see a lot of damage coming down onto everyone. We're seeing Lumen very low. Cho is also very low. He gets killed. Diana jumps in for a double kill. Vayne's coming very low. She's might be overextending against that Ashe, and she's going to go down.
Going down to the Ashe, getting the shutdown.
So we are seeing a 3 for 2 exchange there in blue team's favor. Once again, they keep winning these team fights. Yorick still has not used his ult yet. He may be using it on Ashe right now.
And Yorick does not get... Oh, he did get the ult, but on
Oh,
himself.
he used it on himself rather than Ashe.
Using it to try and tank that tower. Trying to catch the Sona, but it's
In my
not going to
opinion, it
happen.
might have been in my opinion, it would... I did something. Okay.
Broken everything, Luke. Luke broke everything, everybody.
In my opinion, it would have been a better idea to ult the Ashe, and then they may have gotten that tower, but it may also have been that he tried to ult too late when Ashe was already dead and then got himself instead, but needless, it was... I believe that turned it into an even... No, that made it a 4 for 3 encounter, so blue team still did come out on top of that exchange. Gold difference still at 2k, but we are seeing blue team continuously winning team fights.
And while gold is the main point of this game, you have to have the gold to have the items. If they can just keep pushing them down in those team fights, they can keep taking towers one by one until they can push their way all the way to the Nexus.
Well, if blue team is finally able to mount enough pressure to take this turret down, it may put them back into, you know, a better position. It'll close that gold gap right up, and then you'll be seeing them trying to win more team fights, and that might give them the advantage.
Tier 1 mid tower going down, nothing purple can do.
Oh,
the
clutch
arrow.
ultimate coming down on the Vayne, followed by a Fizz ultimate. Why are Fizz and Ziggs in the same game? Vayne goes down immediately. There's chase going down onto Sona, but she is saved by a Sejuani ult. But that's not necessarily good for purple team because they need that Sejuani ult to engage fights and try to catch carries. So that's a pretty bad blow against the purple team. They're losing their Vayne once again, and they've got a full health blue team with many ults loaded up, ready to come down on this mid lane turret.
And with that, Cho'Gath has his full 6 stacks, which makes him something to be reckoned with for sure.
In this game, you see Cho'Gath definitely not falling behind like he was in the last game as Shen. He's the same level as Lumen and arguably having a larger impact. You can see with his 427 score compared to the 135. A big difference from his Shen game from before. Now Vayne is back up, Ziggs is in base, and we see blue team milling about somewhat near Dragon area, trying to figure out what they're trying to do. They may just keep farming and pushing at this point.
Oh, and the rupture hitting her. So silence. Bless you, Luke. But he being healed right up by Biosloth. Blue team trying to force that next tower. Bless you again, Luke. Does appear that the blue team is trying to make something happen top lane, trying to force it out, trying to get that next tier tower.
Excuse me.
Bless you again, Luke.
What they may be trying to do is they may be trying to force a push in bot lane, forcing purple team to come up and answer it. We do see purple team pushing down towards blue's mid tower. I think they're trying to put pressure on the Baron, try to force a fight because they know they've been winning team fights. I think they're going to try to win a team fight and then see if they can take Baron while one of the purple team champions is down. Right now we are seeing Diana a little bit out of position across the river from her team, but everyone's now back together up in mid.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we're about to see another team fight go down.
And everyone's lined up and ready to go.
Retreat. Purple continuing to retreat, trying to get under that tower to give them as much extra damage as they can. Ziggs trying to push him down, but it is not going to happen. They have been dodging those Qs left and right. I do believe they're heading for Baron. They're either going to try and get the Baron or they're going to try and force it out. Purple does have vision to see them coming that way in the bush. And they do not know that.
They did see Vayne and Diana pushing or farming a little bit in bot lane. They're putting damage out on this Baron, trying to take it.
Here comes Mega Inferno Bomb.
I think they're figuring that with the damage coming out, they are taking a lot of damage. Lumen's going to come in and try to steal it, but the Cho ult may be able to steal it.
Down goes Lux and Ashe.
And we're seeing a huge failure on the blue team's part here, losing a massive team fight, losing Baron.
Getting base, losing Baron, and they might have just thrown this. There is a possibility that it got thrown.
Going from a 1k advantage, or a 1k disadvantage, down to a 5k disadvantage, and they're going to lose towers, which is going to make that gold gap even larger. That was a rough call for the blue team. They took too much damage. They probably should have disengaged Baron and tried to have just stopped the purple team from taking it. But they lost an ace, lost a Baron, and now they're going to need a lot of work to try to take this game back around. There goes the inhib after 2 towers.
2 towers, 1 inhib.
And a Baron buff.
I think this continues to prove why you have to have lots of vision everywhere. If they could have got a purple ward, if they could have got somebody with the oracles, they might have seen that ward. But I think they made a logical choice at the same time. Thinking that there was no vision, they had a good and logical choice.
At the same time, they should have been much more secure around the Baron. I know most people, when they ward Baron, they do put the vision ward down on the front, but they also put wards around the back and possibly in the areas that we see around the camps about here and here, so that you can see if an enemy team is coming in on it. They just did not have enough security to try to make that call, knowing that the enemy team had good poke damage and would be able to follow it up with CC and a lot of damage.
Well, then, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. As I was saying, though, purple team does seem to be retreating, going right away from after the big push, knowing that they probably shouldn't fight under those 2 towers, but at the same time that might be wasting their Baron buff, that they didn't get nearly enough damage down on either of those towers. Even though they took 2 and the inhibitor, it could have possibly been a little bit wasteful on that Baron buff. But it appears they're trying to push out top lane. Vayne's going up there for the farm, and purple minions are pushing towards bot. They've got to get those cleared out. And the chat has turned into America. Thank you, chat.
America.
No, get out of here.
America. Alright, we are seeing Purple making advantage of that Baron buff. Trying to push down. We see Vayne putting out some silver bolts onto
Diana coming in.
Diana
blowing.
immediately diving Ashe. Oh my goodness, just the damage. Lux and Ashe are completely blown up.
Down goes the turret.
And we're seeing bigger goal disadvantage. They're losing turrets. Fizz is in bot lane. They're going to lose another turret. They may lose another inhibitor. It's not looking pretty right now for blue team.
It was all in that there. It was that single Baron, that one choice turned this entire game around home.
Oh, immediate Sejuani ult onto Fizz. Fizz ult hitting Sona, not really doing anything. Fizz gets killed immediately, and this may be the end of the game right here.
There's only two people up and a wave of minions there pushing those towers as hard as possible. Ziggs just trying to poke whoever they can get. Yorick and Cho'Gath trying to retreat back to the tower.
We have Lux now back alive, and 1 second up, and now Ashe is back. There are a ton of minions in the base, and it's not impossible for them to get kills here, but I don't know. And there is the game. So it's looking like that's a 2-0 with the Mythic Dawn there.
And Mythic Dawn sweeps the set. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be no third game in this. But I will have to say, immediately, that Team 15 had a huge comeback. Just amazingly so.
They did try really hard in that game, and they had a great shot at it until they tried to make that Baron call with just not enough security to take it.
I honestly think that had they not gotten caught at Baron, we might have seen this gone into a third game. It is very possible that that could have happened.
I was having the same feel. They were winning every team fight, and the gold advantage had just passed. You know, it was shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and then suddenly they just throw a huge fight at Baron, and then that was it. This was all it took.
Okay, maybe it wasn't a huge comeback, but it was a good comeback. They got...
Compared to how they played in the first game, it was a big comeback.
Anyhow, as we were saying, I think I will have to say Team 15 did an excellent job versus the first game. They made an excellent comeback. This game is, for anybody who wants to continue watching, Game 2 just went live. We are pretty much done here. Excellent work to both teams. Excellent work to Team Mythic Dawn, sweeping the set. And that's pretty much all we got. I will once again post the link in the chat for you guys to see, so you can see the quote-unquote professional streamers, because, you know, we're bad things and stuff. But we didn't do too bad, I don't think. Luke, I think you did an excellent time for your first time streaming. I think I did an alright time for my second time.
It's my first time, be gentle.
Wow. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, this is Luke, Sir. I am Frank the Great Grizzly of the North, and I hope you enjoyed the cast for the night.